Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Evolve and Execute. I'm your host, CS Rajiv Bajaj, startup coach, mentor, and your compass for decoding business, building through clarity, resilience, and conscious execution. Uh, Today, a conversation is about building something big, literally from greenfield factories, brownfield upgrades, setting up a manufacturing unit is a high-stake orchestration for engineering, project management, people, and purpose. So, to decode all this, we have uh, with us Mr. Ashutosh Kumar. He's a seasoned manufacturing strategist and former naval engineer known during complex industrial projects, uh, and he has got a lot of projects right from the ground level. And Ashutoshji brings a rare mix of military-grade discipline and manufacturing pragmatism. So, welcome Ashutoshji to Evolve and Execute. Uh, Kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Rajiv ji. It's pleasure to be here. I appreciate your warm welcome and chances to share what I have learned from our naval life and from the industry. My background started from the Navy when I joined as a mechanical engineer and posted on the ship. I was there in the Navy for more than approx 15 years. Then left the naval life to join the corporate life. And since then, I have been in the mainly into the manufacturing and service industries related to the machines. There we make a complete machines, establish for various application in their customers' plant, and it's like starting a machines and giving them for the handover for them for productions kind of thing. So it will be really good discussion among us. Let's start. Thank you again.
Thank you, Akitoji, for taking out time and sharing your lots of experience with our listeners. Because we have built a community where people are diving into different topics. Our core conversation today is going to be, regarding the manufacturing and how we take the manufacturing base forward with confidence, and that is, I think, the need for today being Independence Day, need for the nation as well. So, what are the first critical steps when moving from an industrial idea to actual project initiation, which one should think of?
Rajiv, you said very right that now even India, our nation is focusing on becoming a manufacturing hub. So it's the right time to discuss on these points. Regarding these critical steps, what you asked, this is the biggest mistake people are doing, jumping straight to the blueprint. They got the grand vision, they got the brilliant idea to make a factory, and they immediately start looking for the machines and land kind of thing. My experience says that we must slow down and think few whys. Why, how, what, this is very important in any setup what we are doing. Like what is the market need of the factory we are going to make? Is the technology we are using is the core technology, it is the proven technology, or something new and risky we are thinking about? And also the long term vision, like do we have the scope of making it the large or scaling it? These things must be considered before going to that, because before you move, like what I been in Navy and what I learned, that whenever you move to a ship, you should know their mission, their destination, and resources you have. Similar to the factory, you should start with feasibility study to the financial number, what the output will give from the factory, will get from the factory. So once you have the clarity on these points, next critical step is assembling the right project team. You think everything is okay, but you don't have the right project team, it will go heavy. So it's a complex engineering, project management, and the people management also. In my experience, I have seen many projects fail just because they had the great of everything, but not the right project team. So this is what I would like to say regarding this, and this has to be discussed, planned, and during the initial phase also. So this laid the foundation of the success.
Great. So greenfield versus brownfield, there's always a discussion, how do the challenges differ when executing each type of project, and how one should plan more effectively for both these kind of projects.
Rajiv, this is an excellent question, what I say. So, see, this type of choice comes in front of every company. Every company faces this. What I see, Greenfield and Brownfield project, like building a new ship from the scratch. So otherwise, you have to modernizing existing ships with the new warhead, new component, new technology. So in Greenfield project, you are building from a scratch. You got all the liberty, whatever you want to do. You can design the facility for maximum efficiency and flow. Okay, yeah, you don't have any foundation of existing structures. These in the ground greenfield challenges are mainly external and with the respect to infrastructure. You can say you have to deal with the land acquisitions. If you have the land, then you have to think how road is coming here, whether road is there or not. Many times you have to get the sanction road from your factory if it is the bigger scale. Then definitely utility, power requirement are the another issue. If these are the not already project in your plot and factory locations. And one more thing, that is the dealing with the local people. Like once something comes new, if it is the kind of MIDC, everybody knows that there will be factory. Many times you acquire 100 acre 200 acre lands for making your plant and your setup. Then there will be a initial unrest among the people, and you have to negotiate with them. You have to take them along with you. They should not fear. They should say, see, this is the opportunity for them also. So it's like building from the scratch and getting whatever you want. You can do how you are handling this project, that gives the result. Then comes to the brownfield. This is another hand, like you are upgrading or expanding your existing facility. Okay, so core challenges in this: working within the constraint. You have a lot of constraint. Existing setup, you cannot stop the production. You cannot relocate everything. So you have to navigate among the existing layout, old machineries, what are the workforce you have, and their certain way of doing. Like one, there is change is always comes a resistance. So bigger hurdle is often in the psychological, you can say. Managing disruption in the ongoing operations will be the kind of thing. It's like a this brownfield project, like a surgeon. You have to carefully do everything without stopping the heartbeat of the factory. So things should move on, and similar way you should get the result. So
Sure.
this require the meticulous planning and sequencing also. What has to be done first and what has to be done at the later stage. And you can say clear communication, starting from the factory level worker, fitter kind of thing, or helper, till the senior management. They should know what will happen and exactly when. So this will give the smoother transition for the brownfield project. This is my experience, what I'd like to say.
Perfect. Perfect. So, when you are putting up a project, there are a lot of mistakes which happen in the planning stage itself, and sometimes the companies have, failed on certain ideas or oversight in planning. Those kind of issues are there. So, what are those common mistakes which you can think of for the benefit of our viewers? Yeah.
See, planning is a very critical part in any project management, you can say, or any factory planning, or whatever you plan, anything. So if you plan well, your half is done. That is being seen. But yes, many times you do the mistakes. And these common mistakes are, like, you can say, whenever someone start, if you start any project, you'll get to have the answer what is the project budget. So budgeting is the, I say, the main one of the main constraint and mistakes people are doing. They are always assuming the best case scenario. They are thinking, they are very optimistic, like everything will go fine, machines will perfectly work from day one. There will be a no delay in supply chain, or maybe a regulatory approval whenever required, because you assume, for example, it will take 1 month. Authorities say it will be in 1 month, but due to XYZ reason, it becomes 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, or they gave some remarks and you have to correct those things. So my naval experience always taught me that plan for contingencies. Like, you don't think that everybody will be smooth in one go. You should have the buffer of a time and money, because something somewhere may go wrong. Then um, it should not happen that you design a factory sitting in the comfort of the AC, and you don't involve the people, those who are will be actually running it. So go to on the project side, understand them very well, focus for machinery layout and workflow with the involving the people who will actually run it. Many time what happen, like, you forget about is there any space for maintenance? Is there any, like, can say, operators? This the flow is logical to the operators. Our safety features are really involved. See, one design looks very beautiful on the paper, but that could be my nightmare in the practice if you don't involve the individual. So people on the factory floor must be involved in the planning process, and those who will run it. And third, see, we have decided involve the people also, but you know, you are not only always involved in the internal team. You have to outsource a lot of things. So vendor selection is the very important. It's not a simple procurement side. Your vendor should have the experience on this kind of project. It's like your extension of your project team. So you need to choose a partner who understand your vision, your commitment of the quality. Simply going for the lowest bidder can lead to a headache to the complete project management team. You may have the missed deadline, poor quality, lack of support. Many times in between the project, vendors say, "Sorry, I can't do this thing." So you should have these planning in your mind. So these are the mistakes generally people do. If you focus on these things, it could be a error-proof and a smooth transition can happen.
Yeah, yeah, very, very well said. So, can you walk us through some technical commissioning process where, what are the stages and where do you, see most of the delays happening? Can you share that?
Yes, you got a project, you got the factory, you got the machines, you got everything now. Now, I can make it this commissioning process in the four part, I can say. One is the cold commissioning, next hot, next process commissioning, then it's a operational ramp up or handover, what you say. So what when during cold commissioning, where you test individual components, okay, without any product, raw material or power. You check everything is properly installed or not. For example, the fireman line walls are working or not. These all things has to be done. Wiring is correct or not. Visually, you can say, see these all things. So you do all the static checks. See, this is not a simple, it's a very tedious, but this should be non-negotiable. The more you sweat during cold commissioning, less you have the problem in the later stages. So then comes to the hot commissioning. Here you introduce a power, maybe a utility, you can say maybe air, maybe a power, maybe a water, whatever could be the utilities. And then you run the machineries without the raw material. So here you test the controls, you test the safety, you check whether all the functionalities are right or not. These things has to be considered. And next comes to the process commissioning or ramp up. You can say it's a startup. Here you introduce the raw material, you have the power and run the line at the lowest speed, see the production quality and everything is at par with your requirement or not. Otherwise, you will waste a lot of things if you directly start with the higher production or higher speed. And then you fine tune these things in the process and iron out all the obstacles. Then you get the things done. And very important and final one, that is the scaling of the productions. Okay, and while you are scaling, important is that these initial three processes are correct. There is no issue in that. And what I have seen that maximum issue happening between the cold and hot. Once you, as soon as you start the power and utility and all, you see some line was not correctly fitted, it's leaking, or some there is some obstruction or in between, these kind of things. So gradually you ease out everything. um, and for this, what I said initially, you should have a very good team, project team. So means you have the good, right, and positive thinking project team who can handle the situation on handling with the way this should be done. So things are done. And important is there, you should always involve the operational team who is running, who will be running the project. So you'll have the smoother transition from the project team to the operational team. This how you can do. See, in the Navy, when you start the work, you are at mid sea, you cannot find the repair shop to repair anything. So you, if you have the good team, good project team, they should have at least such ability to take it alongside, then you can ask for any repairing support. Right.
Very well said and very elaborate answer you gave. One more thing which bothers me is that people often assume that execution is all about machines, but
Mhm.
I feel the stakeholders are also very important, whether they are aligned with the project goals, whether all the vendors who are working, or contractors, or internal teams who are working on the project, they are all aligned in one direction. So how important is this?
Rajivji, the point you raised, I'll say for any project, it's everything. In the same one word, everything. See, people often assume execution is only about the machines, but it's a far from truth. Like in any project, you have many players. Your interior engineering team, your
Yeah,
contractor who is the building the civil structure, your vendor who is supplying the machines, and the future operational team. So if every team playing on the different tune, so result is complete chaos. So like for example, I'll say I was working on a project where the civil was ready, but machine supplier is not ready. It was like it was the overseas suppliers, and due to the shipment issue and kind of a supply chain management, that got delayed. So there is no logic keeping a building ready. So everything has to be aligned. And worse is the lack of coordination between all these are uh, eventually it is increasing your total owning cost, total project cost. If it is delayed for 2 months, means your finally production will be happening after 2 months, and your material will ship to the market after 2 months, then you are late by 2 months, not only in the time, it's the financial implications also. So that is very important. So you can say you have to be a conductor of this orchestra, hold a daily meeting, weekly meeting, or could be a monthly meeting for presenting to the higher management. See, depend upon the scale of project could be for 3 4 5 months also, could be 3 4 5 years also. So how you are handling this, these are the very important. So all stakeholder holder has to be aligned with the target goal, and then only you can achieve this is my point.
yeah, very important point. And what system or framework do you rely on to keep large projects on track and within budget?
For this, I'll say my approach will be the blend of my naval discipline and industrial expertise. Like you always has to focus on the whether your project is running on a critical path, or you have the plenty of liberty in the terms of finance, in terms of time, and in terms of everything. So first and foremost, I'm relying always on the work breakdown structure. Like it's a foundation. You break the project in very small and manageable tasks, so you can track the progress, and the delay or bottleneck will be always visible. If you oversee, if you have a habit of seeing the bird's eye view, everything, when many things will be missed. So it's like I use a Gantt chart and Microsoft Project for this. So you'll have all the track record, and important is that people is very important in this. Means project cannot be delivered by the Gantt chart. Your team will deliver. They will follow the Gantt chart and keep it strictly. So this way, the goal main important is that the goal you have to create to have a rhythm. You have to practice, and their communication loop has to be closed always. If anything is a pop up, you understand, you find the solution, you give a solution to your team implement this, and you should get the feedback. That is very important. If you don't get the feedback, it may happen that what are the link to this result will not move ahead on that one. So overall, if feedback is missing, you are missing the deadline. So this is the only way to stay on the track and within the set, I'd say.
That's $1 million advice, and I'm sure all the people who are into project management are listening to this podcast. How do you manage the handover movement? Because I think that is also very critical for any project. So when project moves from commissioning to daily operations, how this is effectively managed?
I'll tell you that handover is the most delicate and often overlooked part of the project. See, I'm from the machine building industries. Okay, so there are two parts. As a project, you are building the machine step by step. You complete your machine building project, then it goes to the customer side, and there it has to be installed and hand over to the customer. So there are two types of handing over. One is the manufacturing team and testing team doing it. Then installation team is taking over and installing at the site. So based on the experience, I mixed both the things. I always prefer that the manufacturing team should have exposure of installation challenges, how customer is accepting that one, and installation team always be a part of manufacturing team, so he is the part of the machine building process, what challenges we experience during the testing, validation, and fat, so it will help you while executing at the site. Okay, so this way we can you can say we have to complement. So at end of the day, customer will be very happy. You cannot say that I have manufactured machine art plant. This now good luck and go and install at the site. Or even at the site, it should not happen that you install the machine and they say to the customer, "Hey, it's a key and good luck. You run the plant." So best way, see, I have explained how you built in the factory. Then similar way, once you're installing the machine and you have to hand over to the customer, get their operational team involved during the installation, testing, and commissioning process. So they understand the machine, they breathe their functionality, and once you hand over after 6 months or 12 months or something, after a later stage, they already lived with the machines for 6 months or 1 year. So they know how machines behave. It will be very smooth transition in that way. Okay. Otherwise, many times we see that customer is also experienced. They put a clause, you install the machine, you run our plant for 6 months, then only you can leave. So
Yeah,
you can save this, and customer should also say that we'll the vendor supplier that will give you our team, involve them since planning stage, how you are building, how design is happening of your machine which we are bought, and that way you get the result. And one more important thing, you should have the all documentation ready, all SOP, all manuals, letter for maintenance, letter with the operation, so they can utilize this for the future support to their team. So this is how we can do. This is how we
absolutely.
can do.
These are the important things, and but the landscape is also evolving, and there's a lot of tech involved in everything. So, how do you balance automation with the workforce planning in new plants?
Automation. See, this is the hot topic, especially in India. IoT, we are talking about Industry 4.0, 5.0. Now we are discussing about the 6.0. Okay, so goal of automation is not to replace the people. It's a empower the people. And while empowering the people, you should also see the throughput of your factory. Like there are many divisions which are involved, and then you get the final throughput. pack the material and ship to the customer. So
yeah,
if you are doing the automation, see whether it will be impacting on previous activities and post activities. That is the one thing. After that, I have also seen when automation is uh, planned in the anything, any factory or any company, there is a panic among the workforce, which lead to resilience and ultimately failure. Because if they are panicked, they'll not support you, because the team, uh, they are the part of that. They have to execute this at the end of this. So right approach, that we should have the clear workforce plan. If so we are adding some automation, if there is a less requirement of the workforce, then you should have identify the tasks which are repetitive, dangerous, and require the high precision, and good candidate for automation, and the workforce which is being used at those places right now, you should have the transition plan for them. It may happen that you make them the operator of this, some of the team will be maintenance team of that. That way you can do. After, see, the key is to upskilling the existing workforce, so you'll not have the any issue. For example, uh, there was the packaging line is being done, and that earlier it was many people, and then how to do that one. So we train them to the line supervisor, we train them to mechanical technicians. So we turn this potential crisis into the growth opportunity. They were also happy that yesterday I was a fitter, now I'm a technician who is handling this. Uh,
yeah.
and they'll be happy for that. Anyway, you need a people who run those machines, those automated machines. So why don't you utilize your existing team for that? This is how we can do.
Right, right. So motivating the team always is very important.
Yes.
We there's a lot of talk about sustainability and ESG in the industrial projects. How large scale projects, especially in India, are being focused on this ESG part of it.
Sorry. See, few years back, sustainability was a buzzword, you can say, but now it is the fundamental part of any responsible project execution. Particularly, you can say the India is developing very rapidly. For the in that our case, it is very important. Earlier, it was nice to have. Now it become must to have. Okay, then because it is good for our business and our planet, right? So we always build sustainability into our core design. So executing sustainability, you have to think from the design stage only. Always think whether whatever we are designing, whatever resources you have, is there efficient? Are we looking for minimize the waste in our process? It could be energy, it could be a process, it could be the time, everything. If we always think whether it is reducing any carbon footprint or not. That is the one thing I see. If it reduces carbon footprint means you are optimizing your energy consumption. Similar to the water management, if you are building any greenfield project, or if you are building any expanding any brownfield project, you always say if there rainwater harvesting possibilities or not. Okay, and can we do the wastewater treatment for our project? This will be we minimize the impact on the local resources. Okay, and then it is always the social impact. Is social, it's a local community getting benefited? Is we are creating any job for them, or is we are impacting their upliftment? Are we uplifting their local cause? Is there any positive impact on them? I was involved in a project like where we thought of having a rainwater water recycling. The investment was higher, sorry, but we decided to go for that, and within a few years we achieved the ROI, and after that it's almost free. It's only running the taking the running cost. Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Looking at the extensive experience you have, is there any project that tested your limits technically or mentally, and what do you learn from it? If you can share that with us.
Yes, I'll say, see, this any project, if there is a fail in the planning stage, you'll have the issue. What I say is, in the terms of planning stage, this could be a constraint. You have not taken any buffer of money or time. It was the case during, you can say, pandemic. Plan was there to run the plant, and later we found that everything is closed now. You cannot move to the customer site. Everything was closed. So once it was allowed to go to project site after 2 months, then customer wanted that, Ashutosh, how can we meet the deadline? So it's almost half of time has done. So that time we tried to find the local resources, but it was, yes, again it was challenges. You cannot have a number of manpower. There were a lot of restrictions. Then our team and the customer team joined together. You say they supported each other, and fortunately, customer also had the good team, and our team bonding was very good. They supported each other, and we are through. See, I'll say that we were almost 15 days late, but at the end of the days, it was the victory. Customer was also happy that during pandemic also we could support each other and we get through. So during any, you take any project, you have to have a buffer timing, buffer money for that one. That's what I
All
say that.
right. So we are almost at the end of our discussion, and we always play a rapid fire round with our, speakers. So
Mm.
I'll ask you a pointed question and maybe a one-liner or two-liner kind of answer if you can give. So biggest project execution myth.
Myth, I'll say, people understand that people is about the project manager, but I say apart from project manager, there are many things involved.
All right. One tool or a software you can't manage a factory project without, which is an essential tool.
See, any project planning software, like I use a Microsoft project, and one more thing, my notebook and diary, whatever you say. Many things
All
like we
right.
cannot put on the planner, but we can put on the notebook.
Very nice. More critical, time, cost, or quality.
It always quality, because if this is the only thing, if you miss, both are in trouble.
Right. Absolutely. So one red flag you spot early in delayed projects.
See, once I'll say is no feedback during the meeting, because if in the meeting, project is late, and in meeting you are not getting any feedback from the team, something is red flag.
Perfect. Perfect. Worst case commissioning horror story in one sentence.
Horror story. I remember fire hydrant system operated just before of this.
Uh-huh.
There was a false alarm. So anyway,
All
we could manage that one.
right. Okay. Perfect. Preferred management style on site, directive or collaborative?
It is always collaborative, but with a clear and firm directive whenever safety or critical path is at risk or missing.
All right. One book or resource that shaped your project thinking.
Uh, I whatever I read many books, and the book The Goal by Eliyahu is the best among all.
Oh, our viewers, I'm sure, are noting all this. Factory or of the future, one word.
Adaptive.
Perfect. One thing you wish every founder knew before starting a factory project.
Again, I'll emphasize like it's a team. Every founder should think about the project is only as strong as the team you build it. Then only you can execute it. So team is very important. You should not miss the focus on this.
Very, very well said, Mr. Ashutosh. Thank you very much for giving us the real world blueprint for what is it takes to go from zero to a high-end factory. And you have shown us the project execution is not just about the machines and timelines. It's about mindset, systems, and the ability to hold clarity under chaos. So our listeners, I'm sure, are going to gain immensely from it. One last word from your side.
Uh, I'll I'll ask you to keep doing these kind of activities. So if I am not aware or don't have much experience about other parts of the in world from the industrial domain, will come to know. Thank you for doing
Sure.
these kind of episodes.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners, building at scale requires vision and it also demands ground level thinking. So, collaborative leadership is one message which has very strongly come out of our discussion today. And a ruthless focus on fundamentals, because if
Very
you are
important.
not fundamentally correct, things are definitely going to go wrong. And project management is a very delicate subject. So, we all must utilize. And in case you need any help from Ashutosh, I'm sure he will always be available. We can connect you guys with him. So until next time, think big, build real, and keep evolving with evolve and execute. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Ashutosh.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you.
Thank you.